All right, we are live. What is going on, New York Giants fans? Let's get this on Twitter so we can get more people to get involved. We're going to be talking about a couple things today. Really, we're going to be going over, the game coming up this Sunday against the LA Rams. We're going to go over some injury updates. We're also going to be talking about really all things New York Giants. I want this to be that I guess you could say that space where you guys could come in and let out your frustrations. I mean, I think right now, this loss against Dallas, it's numbing when you think about it, right? Because with all the players that were injured, at that point, what could you do, right? I mean, Kadarius Toney balled out. I'm so excited to talk about my thoughts on Kadarius Toney. But there really wasn't much the New York Giants could do in that situation. So, but we're gonna break down the Rams game. Let's try to get some more people in here, man. It's gonna be a fun one today. We're gonna let you guys call in. We're gonna talk some New York Giants football. It's gonna be a good time, man, for real. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Alrighty, so we got that going there. And if you guys would like to call in, which is not a problem at all, I'm actually gonna put the link in the comments so you guys can click on it and call in. Love to have you guys in here. So let's see. Okay, we're gonna put it in the chat. Alrighty. So look, right, this team, man, this team is beyond what we thought this team was gonna be. Right, this team is playing very bad. Um, and it's really unfortunate too because I feel like all of us as a fan base, had at least somewhat expectations for this team, right? We went out and signed Kenny Galladay. We got Kyle Rudolph, Adoree Jackson, re-signed Leonard Williams. We all know that we neglected the offensive line, right? It's no secret there, but we really, at least me and from what I saw, a lot of other Giants fans, this there was no reason why this team couldn't be a 9, maybe 10 win team. And thinking about it now, man, I would be lucky to get 5 or 6. I mean, and that's just the truth, and it hurts saying that because we have a lot of talent on this team. Let's not kid ourselves. We do have talent on this team. I mean, Kadarius Toney alone is looking like a superstar. When healthy, which it's the issue with Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay really proved, especially in that Saints game, that he can be a difference maker. Now, Kenny Galladay, we're going to talk about that too because I think we need to have that conversation with Kenny Galladay. But you look at Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, John Ross. On top of that, you know, honestly, I think that if you can, and it's hard, if you can look past the drops with Evan Ingram, he's still a threat, man. I mean, he's a burner. He makes the catches that you wouldn't think that he makes, right? But he drops the ones that he should be catching. So, Evan Ingram to me has always just been that enigma. It doesn't make no sense. But he's still a threat, and I think that, the couple games that he missed this year, due to injury, we really saw and kind of understood the presence that Evan Ingram brings to the game, even if he's not really doing too much. You have to really watch out for a player like Evan Ingram when he steps onto the field, because we've seen in the past, like, the game against the Bucks, Daniel Jones's first game, where Evan Ingram takes, that pass, almost, what was it? I think like 70 yards, 60, 70 yards. I mean, not a lot of tight ends do that in this league. That's very Darren Waller-esque, Travis Kelsey-esque. I'm not saying that he's up there with them, but when he's on his grind, Evan Ingram is a solid tight end. But that's the issue. Before his issue was injuries, then it started being him dropping a lot of balls, and he's been on the end of causing a lot of Daniel Jones's turnovers. You had that game against the Broncos, and you also have last year where he, I believe, equated towards I think it was either half or a little more than half of Daniel Jones's interceptions. I mean, what can you do? But then you look on the defensive side of the ball, right? And I mean, yo, what's going on, Coach Dante? What's going on, man? You look at the defensive side of the ball, and there's studs on the defense, right? Leonard Williams. I know a lot of people are complaining about Leonard Williams, saying, why isn't he getting to the quarterback? Why isn't he getting sacks? But man, I mean, if you really look at it, I mean, there's plays where he's getting triple teams. I mean, they were doing that to him against Dallas. There's plays where he's getting double teamed. Now, to me, that kind of speaks more to the rest of the defensive line. Dexter Lawrence, Austin Johnson. I think one free agent signing who I was excited for that's looking like a complete flop of a signing is Danny Shelton. Danny Shelton, I believe, is 376 pounds. Huge, huge dude. And he gets pushed around like nothing. I'm doing good, Coach Dante. Chilling, trying to, really just vent my frustrations about the Giants. We're going to talk about, the game coming up against the LA Rams. We're also going to talk about, injuries. But we're chilling, man. We're chilling. How you doing, brother? You killing those streams, man. I mean, I was there for, the Rocket stream, man. I mean, you really doing your thing, man, and I really respect that for real. Um, but man, it's just, I mean, outside of Leonard Williams, I mean, you look at James Bradbury, you look at Adoree Jackson. I mean, Jabril Peppers, which is really unfortunate. He's not getting used a lot, but he's still a stud of a player. Now, I'm not asking Jabril Peppers to be in coverage because I think that we can all agree Jabril Peppers is not the safety that you want to be in coverage. He's a perfect box safety. And I get it with his payday coming up, it's looking unlikely that the New York Giants are going to re-sign him. Which, if you guys don't know, I know a lot of you guys know. Jabril Peppers is my favorite player on the defensive side of the ball. I love Jabril Peppers, man. I mean, he is a stud. I feel like he's kind of the energy to this team, at least on the defensive side of the ball. I kind of thought that he was essentially the leader before, Logan Ryan stepped in and really established himself as one of the leaders on the defense. But I mean, Jabril Peppers, another stud. Logan Ryan, I mean, but these are players that have potential and, they've shown their potential, but they're just not executing. They're not playing well. James Bradbury he's looking bad this year, man. I mean, it's still early in the season, don't get me wrong, but it's looking bad. Now, what does it come down to, right? Does it come down to coaching? Does it come down to, scheming? Is it the personnel? Like, what is it, right? And honestly, if you're asking me, I never really understood why Patrick Graham decided to change up the defense. I understand with, bringing in a player like Adoree Jackson, then going out and signing, Aaron Robinson, those are man coverage, players. I get that. But we had a very bend but don't break defense last year that, we didn't give up big plays. We got to the quarterback. We schemed up, a pass rush, which we can't even do that right now, which is crazy because we went out and got Azeez Ojulari, he's looking promising, man. I mean, there's things that he has to fix, but he's looking promising. Lorenzo Carter is looking invisible, man. I mean, there's times I can't even tell when he's on the field. I mean, don't get me wrong. He had a solid interception on Dak Prescott when we played the Cowboys this past weekend. But outside of that, he just kind of disappeared. O'Shea Zimenez, bust. I'm calling it now, man. He's a bust. He's not getting it done. And that hurts because I had expectations for O'Shea Zimenez when we first signed him. And I got a little bit of pushback from that, and I understood, but I saw, the potential with O'Shea Zimenez. I mean, coming out of, I believe it was Old Dominion, he was still a solid player. I mean, coming out of a small school, but the potential was there. And unfortunately, he hasn't lived up to it. I don't know what's really going to take for the New York Giants to be able to get a pass rush. I know a lot of Giants fans want us to really go back to the old scheme and, change things up. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think, it wasn't broke. Why fix it, But hold on, let's read these comments here because I'm so sorry. I just really got caught up in that, man. Appreciate it, bro. Actually, let's click on them here. Appreciate it, bro. It's an honor to have you part of the channel. I'm getting ready for my collab with Beatdown Breakdown. Yo, that's what's up, dog. Thank you, man. I mean, it's so much fun, man. I really love how you call the games. And I like your opinions, man. I mean, I don't think we gonna see, man. I mean, I'm a Nets fan, but we gonna see. I mean, I heard rumors today about Ben Simmons trade. I'm personally not a Ben Simmons fan. I might get pushed back for that, but you know, whichever. I think Bradbury is just a man-to-man corner. If I'm gonna pay a cornerback 14 million, I expect you to be a man-to-man corner and not a zone coverage corner. You know, the thing with Bradbury, right? I mean, I feel like he could do both. And I do think that he is a good man-to-man corner, but there are times where I kind of question, what is the coaching staff doing, right? Against the Dallas Cowboys, I don't understand why you would put James Bradbury on a player like CeeDee Lamb. Now CeeDee Lamb is a monster in his own, but CeeDee Lamb got more speed to him than, let's say, a player like Amari Cooper. You would want a player like a Dory Jackson on there, and what happened? He ended up giving up a long touchdown. James Bradbury, he's kind of having a down season, and the Giants keep pushing back his contract. There's rumors that the Giants are looking at the cornerback market right now, and with Aaron Robinson coming up, I believe he's on the injury reserve right now. He should be coming up, I believe, after week 6. It's possible that the New York Giants could be moving on from him. I mean, we saw Greedy Williams, excuse me, not Greedy Williams, Rodarius Williams get some playing time against Dallas. He unfortunately gave up that touchdown that Amari Cooper caught before we went to the half, and he's now out with an ACL tear. He'll be out for the season. But it's if the New York Giants were to trade away James Bradbury, I would understand just to get rid of the contract. And right now, Dave Gutterman's job, obviously, let's be real, he's not going to be here next year. I don't see that happening. I see Dave Gutterman really trying to save his job, which it's not going to happen. And I really do think that the New York Giants were trying to get Rodarius Williams, more familiar with the playbook, getting him more playing time, and possibly shipping out James Bradbury and having, a player like Rodarius being on the outside, maybe Aaron Robinson being on the outside when he comes back. But to me, I'm keeping James Bradbury because at the end of the day, he's still a good player. He's still a good physical player that you would want on your team. I think that, he's had a couple bad games, but there have been times where, he's kind of solidified himself. He did have that clutch interception against the Washington football team. He dropped an interception against the Dallas Cowboys, which would have prevented that touchdown to Amari Cooper. But it's really tough to say what the New York Giants are doing right now. I think that if I'm going to look at any market and it's not the offensive line market, I'm looking at the edge rusher market because right now we can't scheme up an edge rush. I don't know what it's going to take if you're asking me. And honestly, man, I mean, the New York Giants right now are in a position to where you can make the argument that they should be sellers. I mean, if you're asking me, I'm trading Evan Ingram and maybe a 5th round pick, to Jacksonville for James Robinson. And now, will they take it? Maybe, maybe not. But they could use a tight end. A lot of people were talking about, possibly setting Evan Ingram to a place like Arizona because I think that he would fit well with King Cliff's. How the fuck do you say his name? King Cliffsbury's offensive scheme with Kyler Murray. I think Evan Ingram would do fairly well in that type of offense. But, they went out. I believe they picked up Richard Rodgers. He's going to be on the practice squad. He's a solid tight end. He didn't really work out in Philly too much, but, when he was with Green Bay, he was pretty solid. But, I mean, right now on the defense, it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good considering the fact that should have been our strong suit coming into this year. And the offense was supposed to play catch up. And now there's games where the defense is, costing us games and the offense is really keeping us in these games. So kind of unfortunate there. But let's read Coach Dante's comment. Do you think that just the defensive scheme that Patrick Graham is calling, is he playing James Bradbury wrong? I'm going to be honest with you. I do think it is the scheme. I think that it is the scheme. I also think that there are certain players here that are kind of collecting a check that aren't really doing too much. that could go on both sides of the ball, right? But if we're talking specifically the defense, I think it's kind of both. I think that James Bradbury is doing what he can. I do think that with Patrick Graham switching up the scheme, I kind of figured that things were going to get slowed down a little bit. I do think, honestly, I think the defense will pick up as the season goes. Excuse me, kind of like last year, where the first half of the season the defense wasn't really clicking, and then the defense got hot and really started picking up, and really was the strong suit of this team. And I think that if we can go back to that 2020 New York Giants defense that we were calling, which we were drawing up schemes, we were getting we were able to put not only a bunch of people on the line to confuse the quarterbacks, we were able to we were able to get to the quarterback in so many ways, whether that was corners blitzing off of the side, whether that was sending six people. It's just there was a lot of different ways that we were able to confuse quarterbacks, even quarterbacks like Russell Wilson. But we haven't been able to do that this year. We haven't been, and it really sucks because it's one thing to not have a pass rush, right? But it's another thing to where you're giving up a bunch of run yards, and that's really what's killing me, is because okay, if we're gonna give up a bunch of passing yards, understandable. I get it, but at the same time, we're giving up so many rushing yards, and like I said, I'm not even gonna really fault Leonard Williams on that too much. I mean, I really do think that players like Dexter Lawrence really need to step up. I honestly would have no issues, bringing up a player like David Moa and, just giving him the time that Danny Shelton's going to take, because Danny Shelton is not doing nothing for this team. What is going on? Football Talk with Benny. Man, if you want to come in and talk, I'm going to drop the link again. I'll leave it here if you guys want to, come in and talk. It'll be fun, man. But, it's unfortunate to see where this team is at. And with the team that we have coming up, man, it ain't looking too good. It ain't looking too good, right? The Rams are looking hot right now. I mean, they just lost against the Arizona Cardinals, which Kyler Murray he's looking like an MVP candidate. I got to give it to him. I mean, he really is. And even with that, the LA Rams are still a dominant team. I mean, Matthew Stafford is having a really solid year. I got some numbers and everything pulled up here. Right now he has, which is insane to me, 1,587 yards. On top of that, Cooper Rush is having one hell of a year, man. I mean, that boy is balling. I mean, he has 37 receptions for 523 yards and 5 touchdowns. I mean, Matthew Stafford is getting him involved not only every game, but a lot. Like, teams know that Cooper Kupp is going to get the ball, and they still can't stop Cooper Rupp. At the same time, you have Robert Woods. They also have a pretty solid run game. Now, what I really respect about Sean McVay, right, was before they were a very run-oriented team that which opens, the RPO. And now they're more of a passing team. And then towards, the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, they just dominate you in the run game, which I really respect that. They air out the ball more than they run it, but when they run it, man, it's defeating almost. We got Dom Vito coming in. Oh, damn, Vito, my fault, man. All right, well, let's get you into the stream, brother.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I wish they could use Kadarius Toney. I mean, at least they have a chance if they could use him like Antonio Brown,
Yeah,
Odell Beckham, stuff like that. Use
I
him in
agree.
the screen game. You could use him on the run game, jet motion, stuff like that instead of Ingram.
Yeah, I never and I've said this
I
on.
love jet motion. Sometimes it works. The Giants had problem on the goal line, so they probably could use. They could go 5 wide on the goal line.
Yeah, there's so, and when you look at the talent that the New York Giants have, I I don't understand the issues that we have in the red zone. You have players like Kenny Galladay, which
Yeah,
that's that 50-50 contested, ball catcher. And I agree with you about, the end arounds. I've said this on Big Pat Sports, live stream before. if you're gonna do that, give that to a player like Kadarius Toney. Give that to a player like John Ross, someone that's got more speed onto him because it's not working with Evan Ingram. It's not working with
Yes.
Sterling Shepard, man. It's not. I don't understand. Like
I love
I
this
don't
team to
understand.
death for some reason. I don't know. Every time since the 1990s.
Man,
Yeah, I
it's
was born
frustrating.
in 1991. Yeah, when the Giants won the Super Bowl, I was born that year.
Wow. Hey, that's what's
Yeah,
up, man. I mean, I'm
I
glad
live
to
in
see
New
it.
York
Yeah.
too. I'm in Brooklyn.
Oh, I'm from Starrett City. Actually, I live in Florida now, but I'm actually from Starrett City.
Yeah,
That's what's up,
my
man. Hell
gosh.
yeah.
So
Man,
there's a relationship a lot in New York. I love it a lot.
hell yeah.
Yeah, for the last 30 years. Yep.
It's I tell people, I'm in a abusive relationship with this team, man, because it's this is I listen,
Yeah,
I
it's tough. Yeah,
heartbreak.
Odell left. Receipt. That's how it happens. Stupid things happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, time goes fast. Ever since Odell left, 4 years is gonna be past gone. It'll be like 2023.
yeah.
2024. Hopefully by 2025, Daniel Jones should be ready. 2024,
I
he'll
hope
be
before
ready.
that, man. Shit.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
gonna
think
be
that he's
like,
capable. I really
yeah,
do. I really
because
think
it
he's
hasn't
capable.
been a long time since they won the NFC East.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, so I think they're just waiting. It's just it happens, but you just have to wait itself out. Don't just give it time. Don't move on just yet. Just give it time, and things will happen.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I mean,
I
I
pray.
get
I pray to God. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
I'm
pray to
praying
God.
hard, man. I mean, because I think I'm one of the few people that
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think the New York Giants should get rid of Daniel Jones. I
Yeah,
think
it's
even if
hard to
they
see the
did get rid of him,
Cowboys, Cowboys Super Bowl season. They blowing out
uh,
teams. Yeah, that's how it happens. They may blow out the Patriots, maybe 40 points, 30 points.
but
They're like it could be Josh Allen, Browns
it could be a lot
Browns
of
or
teams.
Bills in the Super Bowl, probably against the Cowboys. But overall, it's still Brady. The NFC, if there's a chance, the NFC Championship game should be with LA and Tampa Bay. It depends, but if the Cowboys could beat Aaron Rodgers, oh my gosh,
Man, let me tell you something. We
if
all
he
know
could
what the
beat Aaron
Cowboys do.
Rodgers. If the Cowboys could pass Aaron Rodgers and if they could go to the NFC Championship game, there's a chance for the Cowboys if they could go. But other
I
than
don't
that,
even see it.
yeah, we just gotta wait. We gotta see if this team's gonna blow out another team, scare people like this. Yeah, yeah, especially when the division is tough like that. It's an easy division to win.
Yeah,
Hopefully, yeah, it's between what's their record, 14-3 or 12-5, 12 and 14-3. They need
they
the
need
seed to
something.
go 14-3 if they want to. Yeah, it happens. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, looking at the Dallas Cowboys, man. I mean, do they have a shot for sure? But I also still
Yeah,
keep the
yeah.
mindset they still the Cowboys, man. What could go wrong
Yeah,
won't go wrong.
because we didn't have the players, the injury happens, stuff
Yeah,
like that happens, the injuries, it hurts a lot. But overall, I mean, would they blow out Belichick defense? That would be crazy. I don't think so.
I don't think they will. And I'm gonna be
No,
honest with
it
you.
probably be in the 30s.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of people to agree with me, but I would not be
Yeah.
surprised if Belichick could pull up an upset. Because if any team could stop
If
that
they could
offense, it
if
would be
they could
Belichick.
beat Belichick's defense, I trust I trust Belichick's defense against for some other reason. I don't know, for some crazy reason. I do trust Belichick's defense. If they could blow out their defense, oh my gosh. I
Hell
don't know
yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
But the
I mean,
thing is, oh yeah,
for
Josh
sure
Allen for
nowadays.
MVP. Oh hey there.
Hey, Hey, what's going on, brother? What's up,
All
Miz?
right, man. First time on your show. I seen you on. I said, let me just call up, say what's up.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I always love
Yeah.
talking with you on Pat's, sports talk, man. I mean, that's
Yeah.
it's always a good time, man. Let me ask you, man, because I really want your opinion because I watched your video of your thoughts on the Dallas
I
game.
talk on YouTube.
Um, I really want to know, man. Are you
Wow.
for Jones playing, or are you not for Jones playing with the Rams coming up?
I'm for Jones playing. And I heard he took a full load today, so it sounds like he's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get ding dong, sometimes it's a quick thing, couple of minutes, and then you're back to okay again.
It
I heard that
depends.
he was able to get back in that game, so
He may sit down if it depends on him. He might it maybe in the quarter if he feel good, maybe he could let Glennon start for the first quarter and then he start on the second, third, and fourth quarter. Yeah, it depends on that. If he's feeling it, he's feeling it. If he's not feeling it, it's all right. But overall it's still good.
Yeah,
The
I
high
mean,
hopefully Tony
no,
could put up
sorry,
like 200
yeah.
yards. Fantasy draft. You could put him in the fantasy draft, DraftKings, with Kadarius Tony if he could go for 200 yards or something, 190 yards, something like that.
hey, man, you never
Yeah.
With
know.
Mike Glennon, oh my gosh.
Let me tell you something, man. It's like I'm one of those people that if he's cleared, let him play. At the same time,
Yeah,
if Thomas isn't playing, I kind of don't want Jones playing, to be honest. Just because, if I'm the Rams, if wherever Nate Solder is, that's where I got to attack. I can't lie to you. I mean that man. And I've been hearing it all week
I
with
got it. Yeah.
Cowboys fans talking about Randy Gregory. Yeah, Randy Gregory, he looked great against Nate Solder, but if you've looked at him the rest of the year, the man's looked pretty bad. He's looked pretty bad, Randy Gregory. So I wasn't surprised that he was throwing, Nate Solder around. Nate Solder is fucking horrible. Like I've never seen a player where I honestly I'm gonna be real with you. Flowers was bad. He was horrible, but he wasn't getting thrown like that. Flowers was a kid. This is a grown ass man getting thrown like he's some little ass man on the floor by Randy Gregory, who missed a season recently because of marijuana. So like, I don't know, man. I mean, I want Jones to play. I
And
don't
what
know
they
what's
what they
going on.
saying about Thomas? I haven't heard anything. What are they saying about Tom?
He's limited. They have him working on the side. He's making progression. So I think that it's possible that he will play.
Yeah.
But oh wait, we got another man in here. Hold on, we got to add the goat. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Shit, what is going on, man? We got
Yeah.
the goat in the chat.
I seen you on, so I had to bring.
Hey, I appreciate y'all stopping by for real, man, because
Hey,
y'all
let's
didn't
get you
have to.
going.
I appreciate
And you
it.
come on at night with us, man. You see us on at
All
night.
right.
You call right
Hell
in.
yeah. Hell
Patcho,
yeah, man.
Lou, whoever it is,
Yeah, because I'll be
Yeah,
at work.
I always
I
got
just
What
some
happened to
support back.
Ron Effect?
I don't know actually. He kind of like disappeared. I know he deleted his videos, but I really I
Oh,
don't
I feel
I
like
don't
this, man. I feel like you're asking if Jones should play. Listen, the only
yeah.
chance we have to win is if Jones plays.
I think even with Jones playing, that
And
team
the
is
season,
they
I
got
know people
firepower.
already treat the season, look at the draft, and we want to fire the whole organization. And I feel like Pat, like last night, Earth Tower play games. And Jones is the starting quarterback, and he's one of the most important pieces because I got no faith in winning any game with that other guy, Glennon. So
Long neck ass.
Jones got called. Jones can play. He's a full, and if Thomas can give whatever he, like you're saying, Soldiers looks like he's done. So
Yeah, no, Soldier is looking like burnt, not even burnt toast, man. I mean, if you can think of something worse than burnt toast, that's what Soldier's looking like right now. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Pat,
might be finished. He might be finished.
I mean,
And they say he
think
lost a
he's
lot of weight coming into the season, and we thought it would be a good thing, but maybe that's why he's getting tossed around like a rag.
it's there's a lot of things wrong with Nate Solder, man. I mean, Pat, let me ask you because I just asked Miz. I mean, I just asked Dan. Are you in favor of Jones playing if he is cleared, or are you wanted to get another week to rest up?
I'm actually in favor of Jones playing if
All
he's
right.
cleared, because if he's cleared, that means he's healthy. I'm also in favor of him protecting himself more.
It feel
Yeah.
like 2014 all over again.
It really does.
Yeah,
But
2016, 2014 all over again. We got a good receiver, and then you got Dallas Cowboys playing good. It looks just like 2014.
I will say this though, there is a silver lining to everything. Shout out to Miz who gave me a Keyshawn Johnson thing. That's kind of what I think. How Keyshawn's talking, that's what I think about it as well. Just bring back everybody for one more
Yeah,
year.
I got. Oh, sorry.
Let them use their draft picks that they've accumulated during the draft last year. We're probably gonna have like 11 picks because we might get a couple of compensatory picks for Peppers and Ingram. So we might have around like 11 to 12 picks. And
No, you keep going.
Daniel Jones, he is our franchise quarterback. I know a lot of people want to make jokes. Oh, he's a turnover machine and all that bull crap. The man only has 5 turnovers in like the last 14 games.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that's complimentary to Jason Garrett as well as the offensive coordinator. He's fixing his turnover problem.
Anytime an interception happens or a fumble happens, Mad Dog gets crazy at Daniel Jones sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Play.
He got upset. Yeah, I see that part where he fumbles the ball, but it happens that you will turn over the ball per the game or whatever it is. But I think he will come back from an interception game. But he's doing really good. He's not turning the ball over.
We don't got no interceptions this year, man. Unless you want to hold a Hail Mary against him,
I can't.
He only has 2 turnovers this year, so he's proven that he can play the quarterback position without being a turnover machine. Only thing he has left to prove now,
right,
is he can protect himself. And what I mean by protecting himself is when he's running, don't try to take on the biggest guy on the field. Don't try to take on 2 men. Slide. You're a quarterback. You have to know that you're more valuable to this team than anybody else on this team because you're the franchise quarterback. You have to protect yourself. So it might take him a couple more years to learn that. Maybe when he lose some of that athletic ability, he'll learn that, hey, I got to get down because he's so athletic and he wants to win so bad that he'll take on anybody to try to get a victory. And you got to commend him for that, but you also have to tell him, hey, you got to be smart at times too. Live to play another day. As far as the team, there is a silver lining. If we find some way to upset the Rams, I believe we have a chance to beat anybody as long as Daniel Jones is playing and Andrew Thomas.
We got a shot. If we beat the Rams, we could just beat the Chiefs defense, of course.
Hold on.
That Chiefs defense is no good. We could blow out the Chiefs defense.
Forget it. You jumping all the way to the Chiefs. You better just
we gotta take this week by week.
If we can beat the Rams this upcoming weekend, we have a damn good chance to beat the Raiders. I believe they're gonna go into a dumpster fire because of everything that's been going on.
Oh hell yeah!
Carolina Panthers proving that they can be beaten. I believe they're not as advertised. And let's say we get a Chiefs and the Buccaneers a good battle, but we lose. We at the first 10 games we'll be 4-6. That's not bad considering the second half of our schedule. Because the second half of our schedule, I only see 1 team or 2 teams that we might not have a chance against, and that's BS too, because we got a chance against both of them because Dallas is a division opponent. And a fully healthy Giants team, I believe we get the Cowboys the second time.
Yeah.
And the Chargers are up and down. They can put up 50 or they could go in the red zone and put up no points at times. So those are only 2 games I really see that we can lose the second half of the season. So we can finish around 9-8, 8-9. That'll be a good season for us because I damn sure know we can beat the Bears. I damn sure know we can beat the Washington football team, and I damn sure believe we can beat the Eagles twice.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's got to be a game where everything clicks, man.
Yeah, if we can finish this first half of the season 4-6, that would actually be a blessing because the way it's looking, look like we could go 1-8, 1-9 in the first 10 games. But these at the very least, I expect us to be 3-7 by week 10. And if we're 3-7, let's say we get on the road, we play against the Buccaneers super hard, one of the hardest games, and we just turn it on the second half of the season. And we sweep everybody because we can literally win every last one of those games the second half of the season. Absolutely. Literally, we can.
Great.
A healthy Giants team, we should at the very least go 5-2 in the second half of the season, and that'll be a 7-9 record, well, 8-9 record, and that would be decent for us, and that definitely would make everybody come back next year, which you should do anyway because they accumulated all those picks, and so you really need to give them a chance to use those picks to form this team. If we use those,
I gotta ask you a question about why didn't we didn't keep Wayne Gallman, the running back? Remember him?
Yeah, that was a major decision. I don't know.
That was a core.
Yeah, I don't know if the 49ers offered him more money.
We could have got Corey Clement. I understand that.
We need to play Gary Brightwell. I'm not worried about Wayne Gallman or people that are not on this team.
I think it's our running game. I think the problem it's
our run block.
It's a mixture of passing, but I think
it's our O-line. It's our O-line, period.
I could trust Daniel Jones could throw for 7 yards or 12 yards or 5 yards or I get all that part, but I'm like the running back position is really important. It's because it's about enough yards or at least 3 or 4 yards. That's pretty much it. That's where I can stand by it.
Look, you got to look at it like this, man. You got to look at it past the surface. You're only looking at it at the surface. You got to look at it deeper than that. The O-line is the issue for all offensive issues. The O-line is. That interior O-line especially is not blocking. It's not getting the push that we need to get yards up the middle. There's no way you can line up in a big set and 9 times out of 10 you get stopped in the backfield. That means you're getting no push. There's no strength along that offensive line in the middle of this offense.
Oh, okay.
And that's on Billy Price. That's on Skura or whoever is at the left guard. And that's on Will Hernandez. Will Hernandez to me is too inconsistent. I like his attitude at times, but you can be a tough guy all you want to. But if you're not blocking in those trenches, it don't matter what you do. You're only a tough guy after the play has happened. I need you to be a tough guy when the play is happening. I need you to be able to push somebody an inch back to where our running back can get in the end zone. And Daniel Jones doesn't have to try to do something and make a miracle play himself. I need Kyle Rudolph to pay attention on the field. He's not even paying attention on the field half the time.
I can't stand him right now, man. That's the
and
one.
We're paying you.
Right
we're paying you $6 million, with $7 million a year or whatever it is for a time. I think it was a 2-year, $12 million deal. I believe he's going after this year. If we could get out the Adoree Jackson contract, I believe he's going. I really believe he's going to lose his job to Robinson when he gets back. To be honest with you. Because we need to be a press man team. We can't get any edge rush, so we have to blitz. So we're gonna have to be a press man team. We're gonna have to lock them up because if we run zone, it's only gonna be a slow death. You see it every week. Every team this year, besides the Broncos, has ran the exact same shit against us. Run it up the middle, pass it over the middle, hit them deep when they're trying to come up. That's it.
Yeah,
you have no pass rush when the quarterback has 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 seconds back there just to look around the field. I'm sorry, I could put.
All right, guys, I gotta go later.
All right. I could put Miz behind the offensive line of the other team, and he can complete for 150 yards. Because all he got to do is throw 15 yards to the tight end. I'm quite sure he can throw a 15-yard pass when nobody's around him. I'm quite sure he can.
Oh hell yeah! And I got to say 2 things real quick. Where I got to give you a lot of props for this, Pat, because I was one of the people that I was blaming a lot of things on Garrett, and I watched your video on things that needed to be said, and you brought up a lot of great points, man. I don't think that, really looking at it now, I don't think that Garrett's calling a bad game. I think that he's really helped with Daniel Jones's ability to not turn the ball over as much. I mean, we're stretching the field. I read something recently that we have an average offense right now. But I agree with you. This run game, man, I don't know what it's going to take. And it's honestly, it's looking at this offensive line, it's made me love, Nick Gates even more than I already did, because that was a dog on that line that we really miss right now.
I believe he was the leader on that line.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe he was the leader on that line because he's the one that actually plays hard and gives you attitude on the play and outside the play. Do you believe that Kadarius Toney would have got thrown to the ground like that, and Kadarius Toney wouldn't have to hit number 18 because Gates would have been right there on him. Gates would have probably got the penalty and kicked out the game.
I'll tell you what, Gates wouldn't have walked away like Rudolph did.
Hell no, Gates would have went after everybody that was over there.
Yeah. Now, I wish Nick Gates was on that field, man, because I would have liked to have a nice brawl with Dallas. At least leave the field, letting them know that you're not bullying our asses, and we'll see you in December.
Yeah, and Kadarius Toney never got a chance to throw a punch because Gates would have been there. Man, Gates would have been all over number 18. As soon as he would have threw Kadarius Toney on the ground, he would have been on his ass. And
I agree.
That would have been it would have been a huge brawl. I'm not gonna lie to you. If Gates was there, it would have been a huge brawl because he would have tore 18's head off, and then the defensive lineman would have got on Gates. Hernandez would have got in there, and who knows what would have happened after that. But I know no punches would have been thrown, so nobody would have been getting fined or suspended. Yeah. But it'd have been a lot of penalty flags on that play if Gates was in there. But with this team, you got to think below. You got to think below the surface, man. Everybody want to say, "Oh, the offense is not doing well." Well, you got to figure out why the offense isn't doing well. You got to figure out why Daniel Jones has progressed this year. Is because Andrew Thomas turned into a left tackle on this team, and now he doesn't have to worry about both sides coming in. He's only worried about Nate Solder, and he can see Nate Solder. He's got his awareness up to where he can see Nate Solder getting beat and step up in the pocket and roll out. But imagine if we had it to where we had a right tackle that he could depend on and a left tackle that he could depend on.
Man,
because our guards are gonna play better because the tackles are playing better.
And a healthy Gates back too. Man.
Well, hopefully we get it.
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully,
and I'm hoping, like I spoke to Pat already. We already spoke about this, and my friend also texted me today. He's a Jets fan, and they also want the same guy. That center from Iowa would really solidify our offensive line for a lot of years.
So imagine if we had Andrew Thomas, Gates comes back, the Wilson kid that we signed from Georgia, that was the mess up. But say if he gets his head back together, the center from Iowa, and say if Matt Pert pans out at right tackle, that's a damn good offensive line to start with next year. And you really want to get rid of get rid of Jason Garrett when he got Daniel Jones playing some of the best ball of his career, 4 games in a row over a 90 rating, 90 passer rating. He's never had that in his career, not even with Pat Sherman. And with Pat Sherman, he put up 24 touchdowns, but he had like 20-some turnovers. Jason Garrett made it to where he's not turning over the ball, and he's opening up his offense, and he's actually making what Jones is a threat. People are noticing that Daniel Jones is a threat with Jason Garrett at coordinator. So you really want your franchise quarterback to have 4 coordinators in 5 years. That's what you're saying.
Well, you get rid of guys, you're starting all over again. Think about it. You better rewind the
all
2 years you just went through, and we're going through another 3 years because you got to – listen, you don't just change things and poof, you go to a Super Bowl next year. You got to build up to that. It takes 3-4 years, sometimes longer.
Yeah, Jason Garrett's only been here 2 years. And when I think about it, some of the issues that you say Daniel Jones has, Jason Garrett has those same issues because they're linked. If Daniel Jones can't produce because the offensive line is not blocking for him, what the hell you think Jason Garrett can do with the plays?
He can't execute.
He can't execute. He has the same issues that Daniel Jones is having.
Yep.
And the issues are so glaring. I know people say Russell Wilson doesn't have a great offensive line and blase. His offensive line is not as bad as the way the Giants have been playing over the past couple of years. I'm sorry.
No, he holds the ball too long, man.
Yeah. A lot of the sacks comes when Russell Wilson's just trying to run and make a play when everybody's covered up. He's just trying to run around and make a play, and he takes a sack and he doesn't throw the ball away. A lot of those are because of that. You got Nate Solder, your right tackle, your tackle, not even putting his arms up to block somebody. He's literally giving the whole defender his chest and just getting bull rushed by the smallest of guys. Fowler's a good edge rusher, but he's not that strong to be bull rushing you every play. Randy Gregory's not that strong to be bull rushing you every play.
Yeah, and I just said that before you came in. Nate Solder's a grown-ass man. And Randy Gregory, don't get me wrong, I mean, he's no scrub, but he's not nasty like that. That man was bullying Nate Solder. He was throwing Nate Solder like a rag doll.
Right.
Like he was nothing to the ground. And that doesn't happen with Andrew Thomas. I don't even think that happens with Parrott. You know, and I think that if Andrew Thomas is healthy for the rest, I'm saying if he can be healthy the rest of the season, I don't want to see Solder on that field. Give those reps to Matt Parrott.
You have to let Matt Pert play because you got to figure out what you got in Matt Pert. If you don't find out what you got in Matt Pert, is a disservice to the Giants. Because if he turns out to be good,
he got to grow right now this season, Pat. The second half of the year is his growth.
We're playing the right teams for him to grow. You're playing the Packers, who got a good defensive line. You're playing the Raiders, who got a good defensive line. You're playing the Buccaneers, who got a good defensive line. The Bears have a good defensive line. The Chargers have a good defensive line. So you're playing the right team. So you're going to find out what he's about. Just by him being in there, you're going to find out what he's about. And if he turns out to be a B-type right tackle, you got to hit. Because now the only thing you got to do is worry about getting you a good center. And if Gates comes back and an Isaiah Wilson kid turns out to be good and gets his head together, that means you have a line of Andrew Thomas, Wilson, the center from Iowa, Wilson, and Pert. And if they block the way they're supposed to block, I guarantee you that offensive line will get some push in the middle. I guarantee you that offensive line will get some push in the middle.
No reason why they shouldn't.
Because Gates ain't taking your shit. That center from Iowa's not taking your shit. And that kid from Georgia is big as shit. Like, that kid is huge.
Ooh. You saw that picture next to Gettleman? Him and Isaiah.
That's what I'm saying. We will go in for the first time in years. We will go into a season next year confident that we have a high level O-line.
Yeah.
And you know what that was, Barkley and Jones, man? Then you will see all these weapons we have flourish.
Because now you got time. Now you really have to come up for the run game with Saquon Barkley. Because if we getting holes, your linebacker's gonna have to fill that hole. Because if he gets to that hole and you ain't got no linebacker there, you know what time it is. He's good. He's bursting out the backfield and he's getting at least 20. At least 20. So you want to run a power run game, you get power run game linemen, and we don't have that. We don't even have zone run game linemen. And that's why this offense struggles, is because you know it's all on Daniel Jones. You know it is.
Yep. And before we get into it next, let me just say this real quick. Shout out EZ3. He's always showing love. I wanted to actually talk about this earlier. We're gonna get to this comment in a sec. But shout out Big Play Slay. We're going to get to the next comment after this. So EZ3 says use the top picks on edge rushers. Now, with our 2 first-round picks, I expect at least one of those picks to go to an edge rusher. But I've also seen some Giants fans saying that they want both of those picks to be offensive line. What are your guys' takes? What do you think would be the smart thing, obviously, for the G-Man to do?
You want to go first, man?
Man, because I'm going to say exactly what I know you're going to say, because you and I have been on the same page throughout, man. I know that if we can have him, if he's not gone, and I don't care if it's not someone you draft with your first 10 picks, I would love to have that center, because I really think that would be the biggest thing to take this team far for the future, man. We don't have a real center, man. Yeah, Gates is a feisty guy, but he's much better used as a guard if we get a real center. Yep. And then I like to go for a big defensive end second if we can. I know you want another lineman. But if Isaiah Wilson, which I believe we should play him in the second half of this year and get him a couple of games. Because if Isaiah Wilson could be something that could be, we could go for a defensive end.
You know what I would do?
What's up?
That first pick, I don't care where we at. If that center from Iowa was there, I would take him at 2. I would take him at 3. I would take him at 4. Unless only one I would take over him is that kid from Alabama.
Neil.
That's the only one. Yeah, Neil.
Yeah.
That's the only one I would take over that center is Neil. And that's
Yep.
only if Matt Pert doesn't pan out. If Matt Pert pans out, I'm taking the center. I know that's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I got my right tackle. And say if Isaiah Wilson and Nick Gates are back, we'll know that before the draft. I'm taking the center. Unless unless Nick Gates can't come back or Isaiah Wilson doesn't pan out, then yeah, maybe I'll take Neil and move him to the guard because he can play guard at an all-pro level as well. So the first pick in that first round is going to be an offensive lineman. It has to be. It has to be.
It's got to be, man.
It's got to be. Second pick, I'm gonna be real with you. If there's another good offensive lineman right there, I might take him. I might take him too. Because say if Wilson or Gates doesn't pan out, I'm grabbing the center first, and then I'm getting a tackle and moving him to guard. Because all the top tackles in this draft can play guard as well. I've studied them; they're all pretty good. You might see about 6 tackles going this first round. This coming up draft.
It's looking like a rich class, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a rich tackle class. It's a rich defensive end class.
Yeah.
For my
keep in mind also the kid from Oregon, the defensive end. If he just pop up for us at second pick, in the first round, I was second round. I was second pick in the first round. If he's there, he probably won't be. But if he is, we all know we need.
I think Thibodeau's going number 1, man. I think he's going
Jacksonville. Because I was thinking maybe the Jaguars are desperate for a tackle, and they would take the
I believe Thibodeau goes number 1. It's either him or Neil that's going number 1. I'm just gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna miss out on both of them. But I believe if we're bad enough, if we're going like 5-12 or 4-13, I believe we'll have a top 5 to 6 pick, and I believe that center will be there. And that's the pick because he can tell the lineman what to do. He's a natural center. And he's a bull. He don't take shit off nobody. And I love that about him.
Feisty, man.
That dude's feisty, man. This guy's pulling at center. Making good blocks. So that changes the whole game for the offensive line. Especially if we got a commander at center, the commander of the offensive line, that helps out Daniel Jones tremendously.
You said my fault.
Yeah, the second round pick. Let's say we get a lineman in the DN. Because there's plenty of defensive edge rushers in this draft as well. There's about 12 that could go in the first round. So with that second pick, we get one of them. With the second round pick, if that linebacker from Utah was there, Devin Lloyd, hopefully he doesn't play his way into the top first round pick. And people are not noticing him because he's out there in Utah. But that kid is perfect for this defense. If we keep Blake Martinez and put him on the field at the same time, we're set. Because that kid's a sideline to sideline linebacker, and he doesn't mind getting his nose dirty. He goes in there with force. So we will be set at linebacker, the middle linebacker. Those 2 third-round picks that we have, I'm trying to see if I can get an edge rusher in a trade.
Ooh.
Trade back up to the second?
If we can trade back up into the second and get one, but I'm trying to get a veteran in here. Like a Khalil Mack. If the Bears go terrible again this year, Khalil Mack is going to be up for grabs. And his last year of his contract, I think, is only $12 million.
Which isn't with the money,
that's
production you get.
But you know what I hate, man? We think that, and that's a good, smart way to think. But I don't think the Giants organization thinks that way, man. It's crazy.
If Stephon Gilmore, former defensive player of the year, goes for a 5th round pick, I'm quite sure the Bears will give up a 3rd round pick. If we give them a 3rd round pick, our top 3rd round pick, we can get Khalil Mack.
I'll give them 2. I'll give them both of them. For Khalil?
No, I would take a Mack here. Yes, I would, man. And I would give up.
Yes, I would give up a 3rd round pick, our top 3rd round pick, and Jabril Peppers. I believe they would take both of them because they can use Jabril Peppers the way he's supposed to be used, and I think they can use him better.
Well, that'd be perfect for that second.
So say if we got Khalil Mack, Ojulari, Ellerson
Smith. What if they want the 2nd round pick, Pat? You giving it up? Second and Peppers? Because I'm still give that up for Mack. I would do it.
For Mack, the 2nd round pick? For Mack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you get him and you said you already drafted another end and you got Aziz, now you got yourself something we haven't had here since when we were winning those 2 Super Bowls.
And we still got Ellerson Smith as well. So now if Ellerson Smith pans out, Remember a package that we used to run back in the day? We got a NASCAR package now.
Yeah. That's
You
what we
got
need.
Khalil Mack, Ojulari, Elderson Smith, and that defensive end that we draft. Or you can put Williams right there if you want to. Because Williams, long as he's not
that's what you need, man. That's what you need. Because go look at Buffalo right now. They got themselves 2-3 ends.
Man, they got, man. When I tell you the worst defensive end they got is the kid from Miami that they drafted, and he's the worst, and he's playing
He's
damn
playing
well.
good. He's playing good.
That kid, I told everybody if he went to the Bills, that would be the best place he can go to because they will know how to use him. He won't be the focal point. And man, when I say those boys over there in Buffalo are playing their asses off, that's Giants football right there. When you watch the Bills, that's Giants football right there.
Yo.
With just a more
the Giants formula. They took the 07 through 12 formula right there, or the 06, and they kind of did whatever they can to get close enough to that.
And they drafted a cornerback, Tre'Davious White.
Monster.
He's better than what Corey Webster was, but that's the same type formula. It's just that, man, Micah Hyde, those safeties, they come up, they're nasty, they hit you. Every time you catch that ball against the Bills, you're gonna get hit.
Pops.
You're gonna earn your points against the Bills.
That pass rush, man.
Man,
they might finally. They look like they might finally win their Super Bowl. I mean, they're going to be real close.
And they just got to get off that playoff hunt. They got to perform like that in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's the Ravens and it's Kansas City. If you could get through 2 of those, or be lucky and face only 1 out of 2, you could get to the Super Bowl.
And they proved they can beat Kansas City, so I wouldn't doubt them to beat them again. And
I would have doubted to beat Ravens.
I tell you something Keyshawn was saying today. I think you saw it, Pat. I sent it to you. He made sense, man. Barkley, he's saying ain't going nowhere because he's saying Barkley gets $7 million next year. He's got to prove himself again because of all these injuries. And then the following year, the Giants are going to franchise tag his ass.
That's pretty much what
I think that's very possible.
And the franchise
running backs all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if he has a good year next year, they're going to franchise him because you're going to have to prove you can do it 2 or 3 years in a row before they give you that money. Especially with the Giants, how tight we are with our pocketbook.
Yeah.
So.
And if the Giants if he doesn't have a monster year and reason for them to give him another 3 or 4 years, they could franchise him a second franchise.
Right.
Yeah. So you're looking at a long road right here. You're looking at a long road.
I think he'll be here for a little bit. I mean, I could see Peppers getting traded, and I love Jabril Peppers. He's my favorite player on the defensive side of the ball right now for the New York Giants. I could see Ingram, parting ways with this team. Something tells me they're going to retain Saquon Barkley because I really do think that, they're going to try to pair him with Daniel Jones for as long as they can at least. But that's just me, though. I could be wrong about it.
Well, they want him to get healthy and be what it could have been when they were thinking back in the days. What it could have been with him and Odell. They could have him and Tony and Jones. So,
and that's what they need. I mean, and Tony, man. I mean, we are seeing the kind of player that he can really be, and I'm very interested to see that matchup between him and Jalen Ramsey this week. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if Jalen's going to travel, with Tony. I could see him, really lining up against whether that's Slayton or, Sterling Shepard. I could see that. But if he's going to travel Kadarius Toney, I really would love to see that matchup.
Oh, well, hold on, guys. That Khalil Mack situation, they restructured his deal and they backloaded it. So, no, we won't be able to do it. His cap hit for 2022 is $30 million.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Yeah, nah. Oh, man.
Yeah,
I was excited there. I can't hold you. I was a little excited there.
But there's other defensive linemen we could get. And like I said, if we need defensive ends, this is the draft to get them. We got 10 picks. Let's get some dogs out here. Let's get some dogs out here.
Yeah.
There's about 20 defensive ends that are worthy of being drafted in this upcoming draft that are worthy of between first and third round. If we got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe a compensatory pick in the third round this coming year, so we might have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah,
got to take advantage.
2 linemen.
You might end up with 2 of those because you say we lose Peppers and Ingram.
We need to get 2 linemen, 2 defensive ends, and get 2 linebackers.
And
That's what we need to do.
I wouldn't be surprised if they let a player like Booker go next year and they address that position in the draft.
Booker's gone, Rudolph's gone, Ingram's gone, Peppers is gone.
That's another thing. You might want a middle round tight end in the 4th round.
Right. I mean, but we need to use Caden Smith. I'm not going to lie to you. Caden Smith is a tight end for this team.
Yeah, but Kyle, let's say we let Rudolph go because I don't think we should bring him back. And then you trade or let Ingram walk for a comp pick. Now you have 1 tight end, right? So you're gonna have to go draft the kid in the middle rounds. Get a physical tight end,
Remember, we got Rising John too. He got hurt, but he should be coming back next year. And he actually showed promise. He can actually be the X factor at that tight end position because he ran the seam route perfectly and got hit in the seam perfectly. He's 6'7", runs very fast, got a big body, knows how to use his body. I believe he could be the X factor for us. Him and Rising John, I like that combination next year. Caden Smith and Rising John. I just need to figure out what the hell Joe Judge has against this kid.
I don't get it either. I mean, he preaches, if they're here, they're gonna play. Well, Kyle Rudolph isn't getting it done. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside of that short pass against the Saints, I really have not seen much of Kyle Rudolph, to be honest with you.
You haven't seen him at all.
At least a play that where I'm like, okay, like he stood out to me because the 2 plays that I think of is that pass to him against the Saints game that brought us closer to the red zone, and him shoving his back into Cowboys defenders, initiating a fight, and then walking away from it. That's all I can take from Kyle Rudolph, man. And he's just, to me, not playing like he's playing like he doesn't want to be here. I mean, and I agree with you. He looks confused. It looks like he's not even like in tune, here. And as much shit as I give Evan Ingram, I give him props for standing up for Kadarius Toney. It looked like he was the only one really doing anything, And it's like for him to just turn his back and then look and see a fight is happening and not to just go stand up for your teammates, man. I mean, you a veteran. You're a veteran, man. I mean, and he came in talking about how this was a proud organization. This was something that he looked forward to. He really believed in Judge. Well, you playing right now like you don't even want to be here. So you convinced me with all that shit you were saying in your press conference, man. I mean,
I believe the guy can't move anymore. I'll be honest with you. Maybe he wants to play. He just don't have it anymore.
Same thing with Soda. So we're gonna save money with Soda. I believe we get rid of Rudolph, save a little bit of money. We get rid of Ingram and Peppers are gonna walk.
Let's Shelton walk too. Cut that, man.
Like who walk?
Shelton. Yeah, he'll be gone.
I couldn't hear you, man.
Shelton. He wants Shelton to be gone. He's not doing much. Shelton, the defensive tackle.
Oh, Shelton. Yeah, he's definitely gone. He should be gone. I mean,
listen. They'll. Let me tell you right now. With all the picks we have, you can write this down. This is a guarantee. If Gettleman is still GM next year,
we're getting a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if we get one within the first 2 rounds. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yep.
I'll tell you a kid that he would draft if he has his way with that second first round pick. That kid from Texas A&M, Elam. That defensive tackle edge from Elam. He's like 280, but can play edge. Man, this defensive side, the defensive line side of the ball in this draft is so rich, man. We can get as many players as we want. And I believe Azeez Ojulari is going to be the number 2 edge rusher on here. We just need to get a book in. We get a book in, I believe Ojulari can beat one-on-one a lot of the time. If we get an edge rush that has to be double teamed, it's
gotta be better. And he'll play better than what we're getting out of combined O'Shane and Lorenzo Azeez if he's getting one-on-one.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm tired of hearing his name, man. Let me tell you, exhibitors don't belong in the NFL. Do you want people understand this, man? He belongs on special teams and nothing more. Unless you suffered a lot of injuries and you got to put him in. He's not. This is the problem with us. We got players starting that wouldn't even make half the teams in the league, man.
Right. Right.
It is an issue, man. It's an issue. It's been like this for years, man. It's
Like
got to
Lorenzo,
stop.
I agree with you,
Lorenzo
man.
Carter, he's not a starter on over half the teams in the NFL.
No,
I don't know what happened to Carter. Maybe the injury killed him. Carter was supposed to be something. I don't know what
And
happened.
then you hear Patrick Graham, praising him, saying he's looking like a whole new player. Yeah, he's looking like a whole new pack of ass.
What are
But
you gonna do? What's he gonna do? He's not gonna throw his player under the bus on
oh yeah,
TV.
for sure.
Right.
I hear that. But it's just, I mean, that got me pumped because it's like, the game against the Steelers, I mean, even against Chicago, he looked all right. He looked like, he was really coming into form before his injury. So I thought, okay, another year in this scheme, this defense, we got some new pieces. He should have a pretty decent season, but that dude's invisible.
Listen, man,
It's
Pat said it
yeah.
yesterday perfectly. Why Leo is not done what he did last year? We got nobody that scares anyone off the edges. That's why.
Nobody scares anybody off the edge. So if this man is getting doubled and triple teamed sometimes.
Yeah.
Now I understand that he's getting paid big money. Only person I know that can beat double teams consistently like that is the guy Jared from the Falcons and Aaron Donald. And if you wanna say that he's getting paid that much money, you should be able to do it. Okay, I can't say anything about that, but I know the reason why he's not getting back there like that. And the guy's hustling his ass off.
I mean, he was getting triple teamed against Dallas, man.
Yeah, it's just like his first year when we brought him here. We didn't have anybody to go with him, and that's why he wasn't getting. And really, he was getting pressures like a mug that first year. He just didn't get the sacks. The next year, Dalvin Tomlinson upgraded, and he upgraded as well. That's when the sacks started happening. You had to worry about Tomlinson, then you had to worry about Dex, then you had to worry about Williams. That's why the inside of our line was so good.
And
But now,
and that's yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and that's one of the things that really frustrates me because last year we were getting it done with a bunch of nobodies, man. A bunch of nobodies. Jabal Sheard was kind of balling, from the practice squad.
Jabal Sheard gives you more than what Zimenez and Carter gives you off the edge combined.
Thank you.
Califacro gives you more than
Thank
what
you.
O'Shane Zimenez and Carter gives you. Califacro and Jabal Sheard, they played their hearts out last year.
Bro, give me Carter Coughlin, man, over Reggie Ragland. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, Reggie, he's not terrible, but he's just slow, man.
Yeah,
He
like
is
he's extremely slow.
dog.
It's like he's out of shape slow or something.
Yeah, like it's like when I saw him against Dallas, like there were certain plays I'm like, bro, you wasn't even nowhere near the play. You looking out of breath. You looking like you can't even hang with these dudes, and he's not that old. So to me, if I'm seeing that on the film, I mean, I don't see a reason why I can't play Carter Coughlin because I mean, there's so many different ways the Giants could use that kid, man.
I don't know
why Carter Coughlin's not getting in the game. It's the same thing with Caden Smith. I don't know why he's not getting in the game. Evan Ingram has showed you what he is for us. Now, if you trade him, he might shine. Let him go to the Rams. He might go absolutely ape shit out there. But he's shown you what he is to the Giants, and I believe he needs a change of scenery, and we need a change of scenery. We just need a breakup.
Yeah, they should.
Whatever we get from him, I'll take it. Whether that's compensatory, whether that's in a trade.
Oh, even if you get a fourth rounder right now, man. If the Packers call you and say we're giving you a fourth rounder, do it, man. Just do it, man. Start thinking about the next draft, even though you don't want to give up this year. Don't be proactive, man. Don't wait till people walk and then you don't get what you wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Because
if you're not gonna pay him, get something out of him.
Let's be real. Our chances of making the playoffs or doing anything slim to none.
Right.
Slim to none. That's the best odds that we could get because we lost 3 games we should have won earlier this year. So
yeah,
it's over with.
That Redskins game was a killer. Bottom line.
That Falcons game was even worse.
Pitiful, man.
But I still believe now. I'm not thinking about playoffs, but I think the Giants can finish the second half of the year real strong, win 4 out of their last 5, and that's a big building towards the next season. That's big, man, because now you started to see the signs the year before. And then you have a stronger ground to make a case that we're going to bring the entire regime back for one more year because we feel that with this coming draft, we're going to be a playoff team next year, no doubt about it.
Now, Miz, let me ask you real quick. Let's say like we do that, right? Let's say we pull up a couple upsets as well. Does that warrant Gettleman to stay? Because even with that, I wouldn't want Gettleman here. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're talking to a big supporter of Gettleman. Pat knows. That's why I'm not going to say nothing right now. I'm a big Gettleman guy, man. I believe Gettleman's done a lot of good, and eating a lot of the shit for the owner's mistakes over the years. He's taken a beating from the media and the fans. But what has the guy really done terrible? He inherited a team that was a disaster. He inherited a salary cap in hell. It took a couple years to get out of that. He had to trade Odell because maybe the way he was acting, maybe the money. But I think all these things came from Mara and people just aiming their target, their knife at Gettleman. The man's taking a beating from Mara. I don't care what people say. It's a fact. Mara's done some screw-ups, and it all started with that whole Eli mess. You know, Barkley was drafted. Gettleman went out there and said, hey, he's touched by the hands of God or something. But guess what? Once again, he went out there and said all that to cover up Mara because Mara told him, go get this running back because let's try to get Eli one more run. I really believe that.
I think it's possible.
A lot of this stuff went on behind the scenes that we don't know. But people listen to Maxwell on ESPN and all these stupid media morons who think they know something. They don't know anything. They're just giving you – it's all about their agenda and what they want you to believe. That's what goes on TV these days. There's a lot of that. So I don't blame Gettleman. Here's my thing, man. If you're going to split one, you're going to have to split the whole thing. So I say let's keep it all together and go one more year. And like Pat says, if you're going to change the offensive coordinator, you're asking Jones to go learn another whole new system for the third time in 4 years. You are ruining what could be a really good quarterback. You're destroying him. So if you're going to go get a new GM, then the GM's going to want his own coach. And guess what? That GM might want his own quarterback. So you're starting all over again.
All over again.
What's going on, Coach? What's going on, man?
And that's the problem. I don't think this organization can start all over again.
No,
it's terrible.
Because I think if they were to get a new GM, they would be where they're kind of back in that position where they're trying to win in the middle of a rebuild.
That's what I'm saying. We already need to rebuild.
I know.
You want to reset and start a whole new rebuild? We have too many young players here.
Hell no. Honestly, if you're asking me, we got the quarterback, which that's hard to get. I feel like we got ourselves the quarterback. Really, to me, I agree with you guys. We got to attack the side in this draft. That center, let me tell you something. We could get that center, man. That would be huge. That would be huge, not only just for the Giants, man, but I think if you have a dog like that on your line, like you said earlier, that affects the rest of the players surrounding him, man. I mean, that's going to help out players like Gates. Granted, he comes back. Thomas, Wilson, whoever we have on that right side, it's going to help him out, man. I'm personally not in favor of blowing things up. I think that a lot of Giants fans, especially on Twitter, overreact to a lot of shit.
Man. Overreact. Especially the young generation, man. Overreact, man.
I mean, I'm fairly young, but I hear you, man.
Yeah, but you're level-headed. You got a lot of people that are not. When you lose a game like you did to Dallas and you're 1-4 and all those injuries happen and you know that you can't do nothing to fix the injuries, it's out of our hands. That makes you so angry. I had the video the other night. I was angry, man, but I probably wasn't even thinking right. But the thing is, your emotions are like, I'm done with this crap. Let's blow it up and start over. Fire all of them. Then when you get level-headed and you think about it, that means you're looking at another 3 or 4 years, and we put too much money in, and we brought in a lot of talent. We're not that far off. So stick the course, finish the O-line, go get a pass rusher and a linebacker, and I guarantee you come back next year, and you're not going to be injured every year. You have a healthier year, Giants can win 10, 11 games. And they have the talent. Don't start all over, man. I just don't believe it. I cannot start over again. Not again, man. Not again.
I mean, we give it these coaches 2 years every time, man, and I'm not trying to do that with Judge. To be honest with you, you got to let them.
You don't learn anything in 2 years. You don't learn anything.
I think Judge is a good coach, man. He's just young. He's young too. Let him grow. Let him and the team grow together. The players do play for him. You can't say they don't.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know if this would be a hot take, but I wouldn't be surprised if this defense comes to play this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm looking at contracts, man. James Bradbury might not be here next year.
There was I was saying this before that I think his name was Dan. He came on earlier. There was rumors that we were looking at the cornerback market. I wouldn't be surprised if we were trying to get rid of James Bradbury because we keep pushing that contract back, man. We really keep pushing that contract back.
Is he
And,
tradable? Is there possible to trade him?
I mean, and with Robinson coming back too, I don't know. Let's see real quick.
I wouldn't be opposed to it if we got a nice offer or whatever. You know, I mean, it takes the money off the hands, no, Pat?
Yeah, 2022, he has a $20 million cap hit, but he only has a $7 million dead cap hit. So we can actually save $13 million next year by cutting him.
I can see it.
We might have to go with the kids. I mean, we got plenty of kids, and if we have to draft one more corner in the mid rounds, then we do that.
Yep. And we don't even know how Robinson's going to play because we know that he's a man-to-man corner, but I mean, he might come in and he might be able to hold his own. I mean,
they can't play any worse.
Nah, they can't, man. I mean, and you know,
well, they can. Well, I'm not gonna say that they can.
Let me ask you a question, man. What happened to last year? Darnay Holmes was projected to become a star. What happened?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I remember players in the league and Deion Sanders saying this kid was the steal of the draft. And so what? He fell off the face of the earth? Are they not working on him? Are we not growing? What's going on here?
I don't know, man. He was supposed to be – he actually played well last year. Then coming this year, I don't know, man.
That's the one thing I hear is that people say that, oh, well, he's not a man coverage corner. You know, he's that's the reason why he kind of fell out of rotation. Well, man's not working right now. So if we go bring it back to what we was doing last year, I want to see Darnay Holmes out there. I mean, because I believe he was one of the – I think he was the only rookie corner last year that didn't give up a touchdown. If I'm wrong, I mean, if I'm right.
He was. Doris Jackson's contract is not able to get out next year. You lose too much money. It's 2023 with him. Logan Ryan's the same. Man.
Maybe you go Adoree and one of the kids like Robinson, you know, and if you have a trade for Bradbury, there's some team that's in the contention here in the second half. You do it. I don't know. Just thinking.
I mean, maybe a team like Tampa, who's kind of decimated.
Tampa, Green Bay, Kansas City, one of these teams, you know.
Get something, man, because God, that's a lot of money, man. I mean, especially the money that we're going to be paying Leo too next year. It's a lot of money. So I definitely see that. I'm not sure if he'll be here after this.
Damn, Martinez too. Martinez 2022 has a $14 million cap hit, but he only has a $5 million dead cap hit. So we could save $21 million by releasing Martinez. And
then you do it, bro, because I don't have to keep Martinez. I mean, we spoke about this the other day. Yeah, he's a hard worker and he makes a lot of tackles, but he's still not that dog linebacker that we need.
So Gettleman is pretty damn smart. Those two guys that he signed that year, yeah, they produced well, but Martinez is coming off of ACL and Bradbury is not playing the same. I believe they get rid of those two guys and say $21 million there. That's crazy.
That's a lot of money that we could use, man, especially with Jones coming up with issues we got, you know, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball. That's money that we could use.
Pat, you know how you feel about people just want to put the shit on Garrett? That's how I've always felt about Gettleman, man. People just want to pour it on the Gettleman. But, Gettleman don't coach, man.
Right. He don't play. You see what I'm saying? So it's double for Gabe Gettleman. He has to depend on two things to do their job. He has to depend on the coaches to coach. He has to depend on the players to play. So he can't get out there and block.
Oh, by the way, nobody ever talks about it because all they want to do is make him the guy that everybody pisses on. This guy came to work for a year and a half, 2 years through cancer. I heard he was coming to work on chemo, barely stay awake, and still come to do his work every damn day. No one says things like that. Oh, that doesn't matter, man. That doesn't matter, right? Nobody talks about how tough that is.
That's how I know he's not able to scout the way he was trying to scout. I know that's not the way he scouts. So these scouts are doing a bad job. He's not able to travel the way he used to when he first was here. Remember, he had cancer the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for damn sure he wasn't out there traveling, scouting the way he usually does. Let's be real. He went to the Senior Bowl, but that was it.
And one more. You already know this. Herbert would have been a giant because Gettleman was
Yep.
scouting him for 4 years. And
Yep.
Gettleman was flying out there watching his games. He's met with him. Well, he wanted to go back to college one more year. Whatever the reason was, I heard to play with his brother. But you know what? We had to draft Jones, so we lost out on Herbert. If he doesn't go back to college, Herbert was a giant, and we don't know why. Listen, I'm happy with Jones. I think Jones is gonna be real good. But listen, Herbert right now, he looks like he's the future face of this league. Like he is
He's a
special.
monster, dude.
And yes, I am confirming Rudolph will be gone next year. We save $5 million if we release Rudolph.
Oh, hell, he got to be out of here, man.
Yeah,
So that's
That's
$26
good. So
million.
there's gonna be money there for us. There's gonna be
That's-
money.
It's $26 million that we could get just by cutting Rudolph, Martinez, and Bradbury.
Oh, and also the cap is supposed to go up another 18 or 20 million, something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
we'll have probably around 25 million in cap space if we just release those three guys, not to mention restructures on other people and things. So I think we'll have enough to bring in if we needed a free agent offensive lineman. I believe we have enough to bring one in.
Yeah. Go get you a next
Or
guard.
a linebacker or a defensive end, an impact guy, you know. I would
get you a
stick to the
tight end.
trenches. I would stick to the trenches.
I'm not. I know you said tight end, but I'm sticking to the trenches. I know exactly what I need with this team. I got Caden Smith. If I'm smart, I got Caden Smith. I could survive with Caden Smith at tight end. He's proven to me that you could survive with him at tight end. I need the trenches. I need offensive line. I need defensive line.
Yeah, get you a
So
guard,
if I
man.
could bring in a premier defensive edge that's decent, I would. But no, I'm going offensive line in free agency.
Yep.
I'm getting me a guard or a right tackle in free agency. That's what I'm doing. By cutting those three guys and then
Load
go
up.
for what you know in the draft. Bring some dogs in here.
Mhm.
Get you some edge rush. Draft you a DB if you have to in the first second round. Because if we get that lineman in free agency, that first pick will be that center. And then you can do what you really want to do, you know, because there's edge rushers galore in there. That will be better than Zimenez and Carter. I'll tell you that. There's about 15 of them that's better than Zimenez and Carter giving you. I promise you that. And there's immense talent at the edge rusher in this draft. So yeah, I would hate to lose Martinez and Bradbury, but shit, man,
That's what it's got to be. That's what it's got to be.
I mean,
man.
we're not doing great with them.
We're not winning with him. I was about to say that. So who cares, man? We got to try something different, man. It's time to get new, fresh blood in here. Some hungry guys that want to come out and kill, man. That's what we need.
Right.
Because right now we have the talent, man. Don't get me wrong. We got the talent.
By the way, Martinez is coming off a knee, man. So you know what I'm saying? Listen, you got to move on if you got the chance.
Yeah, they're gonna cut him. I know they're gonna cut him. You save $8 million, and then you save $13 million with Bradbury, and then you save $5 million with Rudolph. Adoree Jackson, you can't cut because you lose cap space if you cut him, unless they can figure out a way. You know, they know how to manipulate the cap. So unless you can figure out a way to trade him, you're gonna take a hit. You're not getting rid of Kenny Galladay. Although I'm not gonna say he's been a disappointment, but I'm just a little disappointed he got hurt again.
Paper body, man.
Yeah, but it says 1 week. You don't get rid of Galladay, man. If you're saying you wanna finish the trenches, you keep your weapons like the wide receivers we have. I don't know. Shepard has 1 more year, right? So
if we fix that offensive line with Daniel Jones and those weapons, can you imagine him having more time to get it to Kadarius Toney and Galladay and Ross? And man, well, Ross probably won't be here next year. You only have a 1 year deal. But
I wish they would keep him somehow.
But Shepard, Toney, Galladay, man, that's good right there.
You had a good core right there, man. And not for nothing, I like Colin Johnson, man.
Listen, you still got Slayton too. I know nobody loves him right now.
Slayton.
You got Slayton also there as a depth, whatever. And you know the Giants, man. They most likely would draft another receiver anyway, not in the first 2 rounds, but they'll go get another receiver.
I always
see one in the
Shepard's first name.
Sterling.
Yeah, there you go.
Nah, you leave Galladay alone, man. It's 1 year. I'm not giving up on the guy.
You're gonna lose some money if you cut Galladay. You're not gonna be able to touch him.
I'm not cutting Galladay. You want that big physical guy down the field. When we have the line, you're going to see a real Galladay and a real Barkley. I'm telling you. I just want to have 1 year with all of them with a real line.
We're going to get there, dog. I really do believe we're going to get there. When? Couldn't tell you. But
I mean, we're not that far. I keep telling people this. I know people don't believe this because they're losing, but we're not far off. We're in every game. We should have won a few more of these games. I believe we're one draft away, man. We got to make a couple of changes, and we got to get the right guys. All year long, we said, go get a lineman. We didn't do it. Next draft got to be about the line. It's this guy right here. He's about to go off. Look at him.
No, I'm not about to go off. I'm chilling.
No, talk your shit, Lou. Talk your shit, Lou.
My wife just made me a great dinner. That's the only shit I can talk right now. I'm about to have an itis in a minute, damn it.
I hear that, man.
No, I'm ready to play. Listen, if Bedouin want to give me a call, man, I'm ready to play some linebacker this week.
Nah, I had to pull the guns out. Miz on here flexing, you know what I'm saying? I had to get right.
I didn't expect to go on. I walked in from working out and I seen this guy on. So I said, let me go on. I never been on this guy's, page. Let's support him.
Nah, he's always on my stream and my comments supporting. So I've been trying to do the same thing, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate y'all for real. I've been watching all of y'all stuff.
With Shepard next year, if we cut Shepard next year, we save a little bit over $4 million. So there's ways we could get extra cap room if they decide they want to go after somebody.
Man, if they get rid of Shepard, he's the only veteran that's consistent. Yeah, he's injury prone, I know, but he's consistent, bro, and he cares about the offense and he cares about the team. That would suck for me.
Yeah, because he's been loyal. Like, he's been the only Giant that's been through it all. So
shit, and not only that, bro, he played with two of the best receivers we've had in a decade. He was on the team with Cruz and Beckham.
Yep. They're not gonna get rid of him. He'll have his one more year.
I was actually impressed when Judge called him to let him know that they was drafting Kadarius Toney, so he didn't worry about his job or none of that shit. I was kind of impressed by Joe Judge doing that, to be like, look, just give you a heads up. We're gonna draft a wide receiver, but I don't want you to take this the wrong way. Like that was cool.
I agree with you there. I really respected him when he did that, to be honest with you. Now we're seeing with Toney. A lot of people thought Toney was just a slot guy. Dude can play everywhere.
Nah, he a beast, bro. He proved it. He proved it.
Can play everywhere.
Yeah.
Even me, when he got drafted, I was on Pat's live stream on draft night, and I was like, man, I don't know about this guy, because the season before the draft, he had the drop season. So I was like, oh, man, not another Evan Ingram. But so far, shit, him and Evan Ingram shouldn't even be in the same dictionary.
All right. This kid can go over the top. He can play running back. He can play quarterback. He can play outside, inside, wherever you want him to play. Just get him the ball. That's all you got to do.
He's going to hit on one of those passes, man. I'm telling you, man. Because they've been trying to do it.
You better pull out some tricks this week with this guy, because I'm telling you, if you hang in the game with this team halfway through the fourth, we can win it.
I mean,
we can beat any team in the NFL, bro. We got a squad, but we be shooting ourselves in the foot, bro.
Yep. Every time. Every time.
We be shooting ourselves in the foot, because even last year, before we drafted the players that we drafted and added to the team, like, we was taking teams to the wire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We beat the damn Seahawks with Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
That's
so, I mean, we have the talent, and we've added more talent. You know what I'm saying? And they buying in, but it's like the defense is looking crazy. Like, the damn Jason Garrett be doing some dummy. Jason Garrett be fumbling on the sideline with his play calling. When he calls them stupid plays, I call that fumbles. He
not the last few weeks, man. He's opened up that playbook, Lou.
No, he did. No, don't get me wrong. Listen, the last two games we was in it, and then we shot ourselves in the foot.
Well, last week we had the injuries. That's nobody's fault.
Yeah, last week we got and I'm not gonna make no more videos talking about who can game plan for us, because they answered that question. Just injure everybody. Then we don't got a game plan for you. So,
I mean, you're not wrong. It hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of hurt, but you're not wrong.
That Saquon Barkley injury was ridiculous, though.
That shit was just some fluke shit, though.
Man, how much bad luck can you have?
Damn,
when I saw that, man, that was like, to me, honestly, the first thing that came to mind, I was like, only the Giants.
It's the Coughlin curse. It's the Coughlin curse. You do Tom Coughlin wrong, you get 1,000 years bad juju.
Let me tell you something. Very short story. The day that Coughlin left this organization, I'll never forget. My father comes downstairs. He said, "This team will be cursed because of how they did this, man." And he went to work. And I was like, "This old man tripping.
Your
Man. We gonna
dad
be
did
straight."
it.
And then I was
your-
like, and then sits down. And I'm like, "Hey, yo, pops, like you kind of onto something." And then you just said it just now. So like.
But that's because we Latino. We always grew up with that grandma in our ear talking about el mal de ojo.
Man,
the evil eye.
Got me
that was the dumbest move they ever made, man. That was the owner and only the owner, Mara. That's it.
Yep.
Who better in the league back then? There weren't many coaches that were better than Coughlin at let me rebuild a team because we got old and we got to rebuild it. He's great at that. That's what he does.
Right. You got rid of the best person to do.
Yeah. For McAdoo. For somewhere in your head, someone put in Mara's head that McAdoo is the next coming of Parcells or some bullshit.
Jerry Reese. Because I'm sure Tom Coughlin was yelling at Jerry Reese for not replenishing the defensive line and not getting him some offensive linemen. I'm sure Tom Coughlin was going to war with Jerry Reese, and Jerry Reese was like, this dude is old. He's washed up. The game has passed him by. Ben McAdoo's the new shiny thing. I guarantee you.
It's possible, man.
And
Jerry Reese
went
did
with a new shiny thing year after year, and guess what has happened? We ain't got nothing.
Nope.
And look, Jacksonville did him dirty, and look, they done lost Jalen Ramsey. They lost Leonard Fournette.
They lost the defensive tackle that just made the play with the Ravens. They lost him. Calais Campbell. They lost him.
He put that team together. They was a squad. And that was the second time he did it. Because when they first came into the league, he brought them to the AFC Championship.
Remember, they had A.J. Bouye. They had Ramsey, Barry Church, that one safety that went to the Browns. Man, he built that defense like crazy. He had that team playing well with Blake Bortles,
man.
Yeah.
He made it where Blake Bortles couldn't cost him the game. He made it to where Blake Bortles couldn't cost him the game, and he was 1 quarter away from going to the Super Bowl with that team.
He drafted Fournette and gave him Brandon Jacobs' number.
Yep. Coughlin drafted Fournette. Coughlin drafted Jacobs and Bradshaw. Okay. Coughlin taught Tiki how to hold the ball and turned his career into gold. Yep. And Coughlin also, I believe, drafted that sick running back in the day for the Jaguars the first time, Fred
Taylor, yep.
And Coughlin played running back in high school, so he specializes in that running back position.
And look, you know what we'd be doing with Barkley right now if Coughlin was here?
Oh, man. Barkley would be an absolute monster. But
Coughlin will be smart. Coughlin's not stupid. He wouldn't just leave it, we got a superstar, so we only need him. He will go out and get another bull to help him. A second running back.
I think Gary Brightwell could be that guy if he gets some time, though.
We don't even give him a chance.
That's what I'm saying. If he gets some time, I think he can be that guy. I think they could be that 1-2 punch because he kind of reminds me of Devontae Freeman when Devontae Freeman first came in the game.
Exactly.
I like to see him.
I want him to play over Booker, and I want Perk to play over Soldier. I don't know what we have. These loyalty to these guys who we see that is not performing.
I mean,
what does he have to lose? What does he have to lose by putting in Caden Smith and let him play tight end for the rest of the year? What does he have to lose? What does he have to lose by giving Brightwell time?
Because not only did Kyle Rudolph completely give up on that block, which got Daniel Jones hurt.
Yeah.
But the week before that, they threw him a pass and he was on the 2-yard line. All he had to do was dive for the end zone and he ran out of damn bounds. I'm like, bro, you like 6'5", bro. Jump your ass across that line, man. What the hell wrong with you? Give you $6 million for you to run out of bounds?
That's it, man. These guys came here to their career's over. They came here to relax and get their last paycheck, man. It's messed up.
Collect the check.
Well, then you need to write a clause or something. Oh, he didn't get vaccinated, or he missing too much time to COVID. We ain't honoring the contract. Get him out of here. Something. Shit.
Nah, Judge got to grab him by the neck and lock him alone and say, yo, we brought you here to toughen this team up, and if I don't see it soon, you're getting cut.
No, don't grab him by the neck. Judge too small to grab Rudolph by the neck. Put him in the ankle lock.
Shit,
He
just
got-
bench him.
He got messed up feet. Clip him and put him in the ankle lock.
One
Make
thing
his ass tap out on the locker room floor.
That man said he got messed up feet. Took out his ankle.
Just bench these players, man. I'll be glad when Robinson come back because I want to see Adoree Johnson get benched.
I mean,
like high
we
school
might
games,
see-
like, oh, you messed up, so you ain't playing this game, you sitting out, or you ain't starting, you on the bench the first half, just embarrass you in front of the world, make you come out and play ball out next week. Yeah,
Yo,
you know,
that shit hurts your pride in front of the world, nationally televised game. To you ain't starting, you been fucking up. Hey, you, come on, you starting. Oh,
you know, used to do that. Parcells used to do that. Parcells used to bring some big names.
All the
Sit down,
time.
your day's over. Embarrass him and put in some rookie that shouldn't even be on the field. Fuck it. Yeah.
Koffler
Can't get
did
any
it too.
worse. I'd
But,
rather
hey,
that rookie get some experience and get his ass towed up than you,
Right.
a 10-year veteran getting your ass towed up.
He ain't getting no experience on the sideline.
Right.
Shit.
I won.
Put him in there.
But,
You might see something out of him.
I just popped in to support real quick. My dinner getting cold. I got to smash
Appreciate
this.
you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get something to eat myself before I do my stream.
Oh, that's
with
right. You doing the
Diggy.
stream with Diggy today, right?
Yeah.
What time?
Is
I'ma
it a
be
call-in
there.
show?
Well, 8 Eastern.
8?
Yeah, it's a call-in show.
All right.
All right,
You know, it's
I'ma
the same
be
way I
there.
do it every time. I'm gonna talk to him for like 30 minutes and everybody can call in.
Oh,
Yeah,
for the first
Oh,
30
we're
minutes,
putting it
I'm
on
dumbing down for the first 30 minutes. Then if I
All
can't
right.
call, no, I'm just messing with you.
Nah, I'ma be on
you hit
that.
that thumbs
I'ma
up
be
when you
there.
get back on.
No, you
Hell
know I
yeah.
do. You know I do, fam. All right,
But
y'all.
man, I'm a head out, guys. Man, I had to come support my guy Hit Squad. He's always on my
I
stream. So
appreciate you guys.
I'm gonna
For
get me a
real,
little
for real.
bit something to eat and get prepared to do my show later tonight.
Yep, I'm gonna be there. We're gonna wrap it up here, y'all. I appreciate everyone coming. Miz, Pat, Lou, I fuck with y'all. I appreciate y'all for real for coming out. Everyone else in the comments, man, appreciate y'all for real.
All right.
Anytime,
Y'all boys
brother.
be safe.
Later on, man. All right.
Hell yeah, we'll be on that stream later.
All right.
All right.